A lot of the time when we're trying to grow an audience online, we are so focused on the numbers and increasing our follower count that we often forget to think about the end result. I've always been a firm believer that we should be using social media as a platform. And by that, what I mean is it should be used as a way to springboard ourselves into new opportunities. And I actually thought of this yesterday when I was recording a podcast episode with another creator, and I thought, I don't speak about this enough on my channel. So rather than just sit down and talk to you like I normally do, I figured I would take you along with me for the day as we go through a few different opportunities which have come about as the result of my social media content. And I will break down exactly how I got these opportunities. So let's go. Okay, quick question. Would you consider Doc Martens a professional shoe? Because I don't want to run around in my heeled boots today. I just don't fancy it. So I'm putting my Doc Martens on. But are they professional? I'm pretty sure they're professional enough for what I'm doing this morning, but you gotta let me know in the comments, because if they're not, I need to get some new shoes. Okay, quick fit check. Okay, this is one of those moments where I'm really testing the power of this mic, but I'm currently at Gaucho Club and I'm about to speak on a panel for The Corner, which is a talent management agency ran by someone who I met when I was in Cannes. So after this, I'll break down how I got this opportunity, because I know a lot of you guys asked me about these speaking gigs and there is a bit of a process, there's a bit of an art to it. So for now, I'm just going to get ready for this panel. It's actually with some incredible brands, including Disney and L'Oreal, so it should be a really good chat. From a creator's perspective, when I say from a creator's perspective, it's worth noting it's mine, but also I work with hundreds of creators as well. You might be wondering why I seem to insist to film outside, even though it's literally October and I have a coat on, but there's this sweet spot of time, this sweet spot in time, just the start of autumn, where we could be outside with a jacket and feel really cozy and a hot drink. I don't know if you can relate. So back home, I do have something else exciting happening later, but I've got a stretch of time before that. So let me fill you in on what I just did and how I basically got that opportunity. So I just took part in a panel discussion with two brands, Disney and L'Oreal, and it was part of an event that The Corner was running. So I mentioned before, The Corner is a talent management agency, and essentially agencies tend to put on these types of events because it's their way of engaging with different brand partners. So it's part of their kind of outreach and marketing strategy. Now, where I come in and how I actually get these kind of events is, and I don't want to use the word because everyone hates the word, but it is kind of through networking, but just keep with me, just bear with me. A lot of the time when we're trying to grow an audience online, we are so focused on the numbers and increasing our follower count that we often forget to think about the end result. So what are we actually trying to do as a result of growing this community? When you flip that and you focus on the end result instead, or as a lot of people put it, start with the end in mind, it actually could allow you to reach your end goal a lot quicker. So I mentioned before using social media as a platform to get new opportunities, right? So in my case, I always wanted to do public speaking. I love speaking on panels, I love hosting panels, hosting talks, that kind of stuff. Once I realized that was part of my end goal, I could start to be a bit more strategic with how I was using social media. So if we stick with the public speaking as an example, to be invited to these types of events where you get to speak on panels, you have to be an expert in a particular area. So I'm not going to sit here and tell you that you need to niche down, that's not what I'm saying, but you do need to be known for one specific thing. You could talk about other things if you want, as long as people know that you're an expert in one of those things. So for me, it's the creator economy, it's social media that's very present through my content. And the strategy I used to get that point across was to niche down. And what that led to was getting invited to speaking gigs like this. The reason why I actually got an invite to this speaking gig was because I met one of the guys who work at The Corner. I met him at a different event, which was for Google in south of France. The reason why I got invited to that one was because of my niche social media content and because they saw me as a thought leader. That event that I went to in south of France, I was the smallest creator there by 1 million subscribers. The creators who I went to that event with, it was 5 days in south of France, and these other creators were between 1 million to 25 million followers. amongst them, which is significantly more than 130,000, which at the time I wasn't at 130. I think I was at like 100,000. So how did I get invited to this event alongside these macro creators? Whilst these creators are incredible and they've got such a huge audience, what I had was a very specific audience and a very specific skill set and a very specific subjects that I could talk about. So when an opportunity came up where that specific experience was required, I was thrown in the mix amongst these incredibly huge, incredibly successful creators, right? And that's happened a few times where I'm in rooms with people who are significantly bigger than I am in terms of audience size. But because I'm niched down, I'm able to get in those rooms a lot quicker than I would have if I just purely focused on growth. I was just thinking about this moment that I had with one of the girls who I met there. You know when you meet someone for the first time and like you are worried your humor doesn't get across? Because I was being really sarcastic about the fact that I had a really hard day and like I really don't. And now that I'm reflecting on it, I'm like, oh God, what if she didn't realize that I was being sarcastic? You know, when you have a social interaction and you replay everything you said and you're like, oh, I hope that landed. Anyway, it's about midday now, so I'm gonna get some work done and then I'm gonna pick you back up later because there's another cool opportunity that I'm gonna take you with me on. I'm a little bit nervous about this one, but I'll explain why later. So I'll see you in a few hours. Hey guys, future Jade here. Before I show you what I got up to for the rest of the day, I do wanna take a quick break to talk to you about one of the main ways that people don't utilize social media properly. And that way is by not monetizing their influence. As you know, I am a true believer that social media should be used as a platform, right? It's used as like a platform or a springboard that allows you to create even bigger, better things and truly start to earn an income from your presence. One of the monetization routes, which I absolutely swear by, is memberships. You guys might remember that I had a membership in the past, and it's definitely something I'm looking to bring back into my monetization strategy, because the beautiful thing about memberships is that it allows you to unlock reoccurring revenue for your business, especially when you do them right. Now, the platform that I recommend you use if you do want to do a membership correctly and really offer an amazing service and experience for your audience is of course Uscreen. Uscreen is an all-in-one video membership site for content creators, and it is second to none when it comes to the features that are available to you when you decide to use Uscreen for your membership. Some of these features include a Netflix style interface which allows your audience to binge watch your video content with ease. Another feature, and one of my absolute favorites, I will always harp on about this, is the fact that Uscreen gives you the capabilities to create a mobile application for your membership, which means your audience will be able to carry their membership with them as they go about their day. It also means that you can do cool things like send push notifications to your audience so that they get notified whenever you're trying to speak with them. And this is really truly something that is almost impossible to do in any other way other than by creating a mobile application, which you're able to do by using Uscreen. In addition to this, Uscreen offers a built-in community hub, which essentially means that you're able to merge engaging video content with an engaging community. And these community features include a bunch of different things, from private to public channels, challenges that your members can take part in, the ability for your members to share their own video content, and even an AI tool which will help you create more engaging posts. Uscreen is a platform that has been trusted by creators of all sizes. One of my favorite creators, who I had the pleasure of actually virtually meeting recently, who utilizes Uscreen, is Amy Landino. On the screen, you can see what her Uscreen membership looks like and the amazing benefits that she offers to her members through her Uscreen membership. If you feel like checking out Uscreen, you can actually book a strategy call to really dive deep into your future membership by using the link in my description. I feel like I've lived 1,000 lives since we last spoke, and it's literally only been 4 hours, but it feels like a new day. So I'm about to head to my second exciting thing for the day. And this exciting thing is an event called Boss and Bloom, hosted by YouTube. Now, any OG of my channel might remember that my first speaking gig, my first official one, was actually hosting a panel for a Boss and Bloom event. And that was, I think it was like April 2022. So I always try my best to attend these other events because there's so much value in meeting and socializing with other creators. I mentioned previously how I was able to get the opportunity to speak at that panel this morning. And I did mention the fact that it's through connections. It's events like these where you make those kind of connections. And I also mentioned earlier that I was feeling a bit nervous, and I reflected on this a bit, and I realized that I actually find it way more nerve-wracking to attend an event as a guest than I do to host an event. Like, I would feel so much more calm right now if I was going there to like do a talk or something. I don't know why. I should probably dig into that deeper, but I do often find it slightly nerve-wracking, slightly uncomfortable just walking into a room of people who I might not potentially know. And when I have a role, like I'm hosting or something, then it's so much easier for me to do. And it massively breaks the ice, because if I go and do a panel, after the panel, loads of people talk to you about the stuff that you spoke about on the panel. So it's just so much easier. All of that aside, I am excited for today's event. I'm going to try and vlog as much as I can and show you what these events are like. Biggest learning from this one though, is if you're invited to an event like this, take the invite and go for it. And if you're looking for events like this, I do run a creator community platform called the Creator Project. I'll put links to the social channels below so you can stay up to date with the next events for that. But honestly, even if you're feeling a bit uncomfortable, just know that everyone else there probably feels the same, and just go for it. So I'll see you in there.
Usually I don't post. Usually I don't post, but I want the world to know.
I'm the founder of Boston Blue, and I'm the community engagement manager.
Didn't want to share my love till I found someone I'm sure of. Young and untamed, I've been out of range, keeping it low, but I wanna be bold with it. Don't care who we told about it. Well, baby, got a hold on it.
Contemplated whether or not I was going to close out the vlog because it's literally the middle of the night, so I have to be really quiet. But I'm back from one of the best creator events that I've been to in a while. And for anyone who's going to follow the advice that I shared in this vlog, to use social media as a platform, as a way to meet new people and kind of reach that real end goal. And if you're thinking to yourself, when I go to these events, I don't know what to do and I don't know how to network, I think going to the events with the intention just to connect with people, and then just knowing that if you do that, eventually the opportunities will come, is the best way. Because then you really build those authentic connections, you know? And I feel like those are the ones that we all want. Anyway, it's the middle of the night and it's literally like a Tuesday, so I'm gonna go to bed. If you feel like hanging around, I recommend watching this vlog. It's from a recent trip to New York where I spoke on the Made on YouTube event. So it was a big event, lots of updates and stuff shared in that. So I recommend checking it out. Thanks for watching as always. I'll see you in my next video.